Vegard, architect and lead developer.
Sophie, solutions architect and developer.
Jannike, UX designer.
Magnus, UX lead.
BaneNor is a very complex business.
The employees at BaneNor are performing crucial tasks for this country's infrastructure.
As a result of these factors, they are heavily reliant on stable and efficient and user-centric services. The majority of our end users are rarely in front of a computer or in an office.
The main difference between this project and previous implementations of Employee Center was that in this case we had a design agency that came in and wanted to do things.
As designers, it's important for us that it's not just a functioning tool, but that it is also an extension of the client's identity.
It's a very specific design profile that designers wanted to put into this whole portal experience.
So how can we get this portal to enable the employees to actually get work done faster and more accurate and get back out there and get the job done? The previous platform was built with the best intentions.
Our service catalog was structured around the organization and not based on the user's actual issues and needs.
A key factor to our success was that we managed to change the perspective of the client to work design-driven. Where could we bring the most value? How could we unlock the potential of ServiceNow? We had to dig down, find the core problems that sometimes even caused the users to avoid using the service altogether.
They wanted to rip their hair out, and sometimes it felt like it was working against them. One of the key success factors with this new portal that we have made is that it feels like it's working for them and not against them.
It was super important to make sure that we use out of the box as much as possible. Actually, we ended up using only out of the box stuff.
So we stacked up all the challenges we had discovered. What problems needed to be solved first?
Find solutions to every one of the requirements that were drawn up. Basically take each of their components and just map it to the capabilities that ServiceNow already provides. We managed to find use cases for each one of them and map them accordingly, so we generated no technical debt. But I could also make sure that the designer's needs were met.
In a way that it felt that it was personalized for the employees.
By utilizing user criteria and audiences, we were able to build a taxonomy that's relevant for different user groups, which means fewer choices, but the right choices for each individual user.
The most typical requirement was we want this component to look a certain way. In like 90% of the cases, that was done just by using CSS overrides. But in some cases, there were a few where they wanted to have items and tasks to be put in drop-downs. I had to think, how do we combine ServiceNow's to-dos configuration with their needs? So in order to do that, we basically extended ServiceNow functionality. So we only put ServiceNow components into the dropdown instead of building our own. And that ensures that the entire thing is scalable.
We were fully capable of making our vision in design possible through the technology of ServiceNow.
So now, whenever you're on the portal, you see your to-dos, your tasks, and your favorites. And it's all ticking live. So everything you need is now just one drop-down away.
We created a help center as a last resort to meet the needs of a frustrated user, which is a micro page utilizing content management possibilities.
As a designer, I prefer to work without restrictions. So I was very surprised how flexible and adaptable ServiceNow was. Everything was possible, basically. There was very few things that we had to compromise on.
I know that it's compliant to the technical governance, scalable, and it's future-proof, because whatever ServiceNow adds with new features, you're just going to subscribe to them.
We've explored so many issues and problems and possibilities. So we already have like a treasure chest of improvements.
And we're planning our next steps to further adapt to our users based on their feedback, new user insights, and user analytics.